Okay, so I've created my new virtual machine and I've got Ubuntu on it, so that's all good. And I've done my core system setup here, so it's all upgraded. Then the next thing, and this kind of shows the disks here, I'm going to create the shared storage root, which is all done here. And I guess it kicked me out after I did that. But this cloud environment that I'm using is kind of a logical separation into different directories. So that's where I'm in first. Okay, so next step is to add groups, infrastructure, operations, applications, CRM, director. I do director twice. Okay, so next we're creating users and then we're putting them into different groups here. And then we had to set all their passwords. So put in sudo password without the OR, and then their names, and type in new passwords. Okay, so here we have our command for our creating our subdirectories for departments. And then we had to get group ownership by typing in here. And then we need to set permissions. So here's our permissions here. We have our chmod 770 server shared infrastructure so we can have permissions. And then from our proposal, we have here these seat facts to the directories, and then we verify the whole thing down here. So we have removing from absolute path names, files, and owner groups, and so forth. Okay, the next thing that we needed to do was to have a file server role, which is Samba. So we have put everything in, so you can now see that it is enabled and active and running. Okay, next we need to allow and enable our firewall. So we have now allowed it to go from there. So we can do our sudo restriction. Okay, so now we need to add the infrastructure using the sudo. If you add each person, we have them right here. This gives us our sudo restrictions. Okay, so now we're adding this message, authorize use only, all activity is monitored from promised land, and then we just need to save it and exit. Okay, now we're scheduling a reboot for every 2 years, and that requires us to use cron. And then we need to put in these numbers, the 0311. This is when we want it to shut down at a certain time. So this would be 3 o'clock on January 1st, every second year. So that's what the 2 means. The nice thing is that if we type in sudo cron tab, it will tell us that we edit the file, introduce the tasks through cron, and then it will give us all the information on how we're entering cron tasks. Like, for example, you can run a backup of all your user accounts, so it kind of tells us what we're doing. Okay, so here is our update and all the packages that we've installed so far. Okay, here's our log isolation. So in this, I guess, demonstration, the logs are kept in the var log. So you can kind of see that up here. And they've been separated into a directory tree to protect the system stability. And it will help us maybe simplify some auditing. So we've got the write and the drives and all of our permissions right here for root, systems, and so forth. Okay, so just to kind of show how we get in, we've got Sue, Mike Kovac. He needs to enter his password. And he's got his passwords and command administration user, and he has a sudo command. Then if we were to enter for Richard, kind of see now Richard is in charge, and Richard can start to add things because Richard has permission. And if we go back, back to Mike. Okay, so Mike is now in, so we can go back and forth. All right, so that's the end of our video. for our promised land VM that we just made. All the required configurations should be here. Hopefully I showed them all. And it has storage layout, user and group permissions, ACL security, measures, and system services. Thank you for reviewing my project.